Well, hi there. Just came from downstairs in the basement here at Mower Mike's garage. I have got a treat for you guys and ladies today. Today we're going to do a rebuild of this WALBRO carburetor. Now this is a carburetor. It's off a newer Kohler Courage twin cylinder motor off one of these Cub Cadets 50 inches I'm working on right now. And it is just the most simple carburetor I've ever seen in my life. So we're going to walk through how to rebuild it, and also I'm gonna go through just the basic operations of how this sucker works. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing I like to do with these carburetors is just give them a clean off. So I take a little carb cleaner and some safety glasses, and then we just go ahead and, just squirt it off. There's all sorts of crap and crud and everything else on these suckers. So just make it a little bit cleaner, especially around the gaskets and around that bowl gasket there. So once we got her cleaned off, we should be good to work on it. So now we're going to do the extra zoom in for you guys and do the real thrill of how this sucker works. So let's go ahead and get rolling. All right, well, let's get ready to record the coolest video on the internet about carburetors. Well, it'll be the most simplistic, that's for sure. So the first thing we need to do is remove the bowl. In order to remove the bowl, you unscrew this solenoid on the bottom here. Now, most of the time you'll be able to unscrew the solenoid and it'll just unscrew and then your bowl will pop off. But sometimes if that screw is tight in there, the solenoid will just spin on the bottom. If that's the case, either you can get yourself a 1/2 inch or inch, a real flat one, and slide it up in there and undo it, or just a real skinny pair of needle nose pliers. Sometimes I've gotten in there because there is a wrench head on that nut, and just unscrew it. So let's go ahead and unscrew this guy here, and then your carburetor just pops off like so. Now, in the most simplistic terms of how a carburetor works is that your fuel comes in here and it drops down into the bowl and it feeds down through here, which there's a little needle in there. Now, as the bowl fills up with gas, eventually it floats the float, and that float comes up and then it just cuts off the gas because it's pushing a little needle in here that cuts off where the gas comes from. Because you want that fuel sitting right about there. That way your jet, which is in here, so the jet's a little brass hole deep in there, and as that air comes in here, as you have suction, it sucks up the fuel out of the carburetor into here, into the motor, goes boom boom, and then you're you're cutting grass, man. So now, one way to test this, my father-in-law taught me, is that you can actually blow through where the fuel comes in. So let me hook up a hose so I'm not blowing straight in the freaking carburetor. And you can hear where that cutoff is to make sure that you're actually getting fuel into here. So what I'm going to do is try to blow. You can hear that. So that air is coming out of the needle jet. Now let's pull this up slowly and see if we hear it cut off. So as you can hear there, it's working properly. If you blow in there and you don't hear anything, that means you've got a clog somewhere between here and your carburetor, right there in that little needle. So that one is easy. You can just clean that out. Or if it blows the whole time, even when you push that up, that means you've got a dirty needle jet that's blocking it from cutting it off. So now in order to do that, next we're going to remove the float. All you do is you pull this little bar out of here, pull up the float, and this is actually really cool. I love showing it on this one because it's a super simple carburetor. There we go. So you can see that needle down there hooked onto the float, and that needle is what pushes up, and it pushes into there. And you see that little tiny hole, so that's where your fuel's coming in. So as it floats up, and it cuts off that fuel. So the first thing on a carburetor I like to do, get your safety goggles, and you want to make sure that what's coming through here is coming out of here. So I like to get a little bit of carb cleaner. Well, don't shoot it straight on your iPhone 27 or whatever I got here, and you clean it out. Now, also compressed air is real handy on that, but you just want to make sure you got a good flow between here and there. And also, if that little seat in there is dirty, you want to clean that out. So you can use all sorts of things. I've got my little carb cleaner kit, so a lot of times I'll come in here and just go ahead and give it a good scrubbing. Clean it out. And this one's actually fairly clean. And then I'll go ahead and, shoot a little carb cleaner the other direction, just away from your fancy iPhone. I can't believe I did that. All right, so now we've got good flow from here to there. And then next, let's take this jet out. And I love this carburetor because the jet is removable. If you open up some of your Briggs & Stratton motors, the jet is not screwed in there. It's pressed into a piece of plastic held in by an O-ring. So as soon as that plastic gets worn out, there's no rebuilding them. But this new Kohler, that's a damn fine carburetor on this thing. Going back old school. So if you unscrew your jet all the way, like Mower Mike should be able to do. All right, so we've got our little brass jet out, and then this is a very simple carburetor. It's just got one jet. So in order to clean that sucker out, you can see there, this one's actually fairly clean. First, you can look at it through a light, and if you don't see that round circle in there and it's all clogged up, you know you've got an issue. But my first step, usually I like to shoot a little carb cleaner through it, and it really pressurizes it. I mean, you can shoot this sucker all the way across the shop. And once you do that, and then I'll go ahead and take, my little carb cleaning brush and go ahead and clean it out like so if you find the right sucker. All right, and these carb cleaning brushes are just super, super handy. I use mine all the time. I'll put a link to one down below, but that goes ahead and cleans that out. So next, we've got the jet cleaned out, but still where that jet goes, where it goes up to the manifold of that carb, you want to clean that sucker out too. So I go ahead and give it a shot of carb cleaner. And really, all you're doing on a carb, you're just cleaning it, Just like a woman cleans dishes. You just clean out all the holes in here and make sure it is super clean. Yes, that wasn't just a joke, ladies. I do clean dishes once a month. All right. So we've got our main jet clean. We've got it cleaned out where it comes out through there. And also, before we start putting the float on and everything, just make sure everything's cleaned up. I mean, where the seat is, just every single little hole you can find. Just shove your tube in there and just clean it, This thing's got, I don't know what all these holes do, but just make sure, please. Oh, that one comes out there. That one comes out there. And just go ahead and give it a good shot, especially if you have compressed air. Go ahead and give it a shot of compressed air. But usually carb cleaner will do the trick. All right, and also you want to make sure your linkages are nice and clean. And guys, carb cleaner is $2 for a whole can, so let's really let her rip here. I'm going to crap all over this carburetor. And I've already cleaned it too. So, all right. So now we've got carb cleaner everywhere. We should be clean though, and good to go. All right, so we've got that clean. We've got that clean. Next step is to go ahead and reinstall our new float. Now I've got the float kit from Kohler here. The float kit comes with everything you need regarding the float. It comes with a new float, new gasket, a new needle jet, and also, everything you need to install a new float. You would need these in case your carburetor is not getting fuel through here, or specifically on this one, it was spilling gas everywhere. Because what happens is eventually the ethanol and the gas eats away the plastic on these floats, and they don't float anymore. Thus, they're not cutting off the fuel, and fuel is just spewing everywhere. So this little float kit is super handy. I'll put a link below in the description of where you can buy it on Amazon. And this carburetor specifically, it has a float kit or it has a full rebuild kit, which comes with a new jet. But, usually as long as you get that jet out of there and get it cleaned, I don't think you really need the jet kit. So let's go ahead and install the float kit. Now the first thing you do, you'll see, oh my gosh, we got some serious close-up going on here. The jet. Now the pointy part goes up towards the carburetor, and then it's got a little thing and it just slides in there like so. And then you turn it upside down and you just drop that pointy part down there in the hole. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can do this for camera. And of course I missed the hole. There's nothing new there. All right. Come on. Oh my gosh, this is getting embarrassing. All right, make sure your needle's put in there. All right, this is a better one. Here we go. It's like a lunar landing in there. Slide right in there. And then you take your new bar, and then you line it up. You just got to make sure it goes through the plastic part there. Look at that. I'll be. And then to test her out, you know, this is overkill. But I like hearing it to make sure we're getting a good cutoff. Oh man, that's even better. Before I had a little leakage going on there, but we've got a good cutoff action. So we've got our new float on, so she should be getting gas and getting cut off with gas. Then we go ahead and take our needle, which should be super clean now. Oh, that's a giant chunk of dirt. Guys, one thing to remember when you're working on stuff like this, make sure your dang screwdriver is clean. And sometimes you gotta clean it with bubble wrap. You don't want a bunch of junk in your carburetor. Alright. So once we got that, go ahead and screw her in. Now you just want to screw it till it bottoms out. Oh my gosh, I cannot keep stuff off my screwdriver here. This is getting embarrassing. I'm looking like a freaking amateur. Which, to be honest, I still am an amateur. I'm not a shop owner like most of the people running these YouTube videos, but that's what makes it fun, right? You can see me be an idiot. Alright, so we've got that all cleaned up, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this a little better, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, I'm back. So what I did is I went ahead and took a wire brush to around here, because you want to make sure you have a real good clean area for your new bowl gasket, and also took it to the inside of the bowl. Just some carb cleaner and a wire brush just to make sure we're real clean. And also make sure to clean the bottom of the bowl, because that's where your new gasket's going to sit. That's going to hold that solenoid on. Alright, so once we're all cleaned up, then we take our bowl gasket here and just go ahead and slide it over where it seats. And one thing to be careful for, if you're reusing the old bowl gasket, do not shoot freaking carb cleaner on it. If you shoot carb cleaner on rubber like this, it expands it, and you will never get that bowl gasket back on there. WD-40 is okay, but remember, never use carb cleaner on anything rubber. Trust me, I've had my issues. And then you just go ahead and put your bowl back on, and then you've got your solenoid, and make sure to put your gasket right there. That's a very, very important gasket. Make sure you get a good clean spot, and you put your solenoid on there. Now what this does is that it's got a little electric deal. So when you turn the key, it pulls that plunger down and allows fuel to go into that main jet. Now when the key is off, it pushes that plunger off and it cuts off all fuel into that main jet. And the reason they do this is to cut off backfire. So that way when you turn off your key, it pushes that plunger up and it doesn't allow any more fuel. If it didn't have that plunger there, it would keep sucking for a couple more strokes and it goes boom, boom. So this is essentially a backfire preventer, and you just screw it in there and make sure it's pretty tight, like so. And ladies and gents, that's how you clean a carburetor. It's that simple. Just make sure everything's clean. Now when you go back and reinstall it, I'm going to have to scrape this old gasket off, because the new kit does come with new gaskets, which is pretty cool. And you know, real simple little carburetor clean. You know, a lot of times you're going to need to do this after the mower's been sitting in storage, because that ethanol just tears it up. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. And also, if you're curious about gas, check out our Redneck University podcast, episode 2. We talk all about issues with carbs. So with that, Mower Mike's out.